Listen, I have like five gay friends. I have like 99.9% women friends and like three gay friends and two straight male friends. So I am around it all. It does not gross me out. One other question. Do you get called, like you got called for the Housewife and the Hustler twice? Have you gotten called for like, these, we're having the ultimate girls trip. Like now we're having the ex-housewives. Dorinda was there, Jill. You anything like that ever come? And would you do? Yeah, they just did like an I heard it was going to be called Ex-Housewives Club. They took like, it was at Bluestone Manor.
Bluestone Manor. Right. I named that.
That's a good name. I heard that's the name they're going with.
That's so funny. No, I was not. I mean,
would you?
I literally until, they, until this last season where they called me a bitch and made fun of my name. I was like, I felt like it was funny because I used to say like, oh, they're like, I've died. I'm dead. Because I think when I left or when I had to leave, I knew instantly that I would never, I would not go back. I wasn't posturing to try to get back. I wasn't saying, the nicest things, there were a lot of great things about the experience, but I wasn't shy to say that a lot of it for me felt toxic, especially at the end. And I don't think that they're like blowing up my phone to say, we really need that voice back. But I don't think I would do it because I'm just not, it was just, I'm just not interested in those conversations. And I'd have to really start training again to drink. And it took me a long time to train so I could drink on the show, which I did a little bit, but it didn't come easy. It wasn't natural. So I'm just like, you have to have 2 or 3 wines in you to say some of that stuff.
And you felt like this, I had a drink to be on the show to get in that mindset of like,
yeah,
let me dumb myself down and go for it.
Yeah, but we won't say dumb myself down, but just to have those kind of conversations that are really petty. And some of the, listen, I've been there and I participated in petty conversations, but I'm just at a different place in my life. And sure, it would be great to promote sex and good. I get that. And they could all make fun, say something about, find a way to shame me for that or say something negative about the company. But, that's part of what you sign up for. But I'm just not in that headspace. Like, I don't want to go back there. I have other interests, that's to align myself with that feel more natural to me.
You're on a short list. Like you really don't want to go back.
Yeah. Oh, I guess. Right. Is it a short list? I guess, maybe a lot of them would go back just for like a week or so.
Let me put it this way. You say you don't want to go back and I believe you. And that makes me put you on a short list personally.
Okay. I mean, I'm a little bit of a bridge burner, as you know. I mean, it takes me a long time, almost 6 years to cross the bridge. But once I'm across the bridge, I'm like throwing Molotov cocktails. Like I'm burning that bridge down. And it's not, and I don't say that is just not one of my good qualities, but I know that much about me that I see that in personal relationships too. And I try not to be that way, but and I am that way because I really, it takes me a long time to get there. Mm-hmm. And along the way, you just like get chipped away. So by the time I'm on the other side of the bridge, I'm like, motherfuckers, you've not seen anything yet.
What's your zodiac sign?
Leo.
Okay, I'm like a Gemini. It's like, because I'm the same way. Leos are kind of like that, but in a way, it's like the definition of insanity is like doing the same thing and expecting different results. So like when you tell Heather, why are you going back? It's like, you are correct. There's not going to be a different result.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be as bad for her as it ended up being, but I definitely thought that was not, knowing Heather and knowing where her heart was. I just thought, oh, this is not going to be good for her.
Well, you were right. These are my final 2 questions, I promise. What do you think is the most misunderstood thing about Carole Radziwill from her time on The Housewives? So you have this whole journalistic background before you got there. You have this whole life after, and now you're doing this. Like, what do you think is Misunderstood.
I don't, to be honest, I don't know what people really are. Of course, there's some haters that think that I'm a terrible person. I was a terrible friend. I know that I'm a good friend. I know that I don't know what was misinterpreted. Other than that, I'm not worth $50 million. And I'm hustling just like everyone else hustled. I think there was a lot of misconception about who people thought I was on the show. I wasn't able to, I didn't have any real agency on the show to really speak my truth and talk about my life in a way that I felt was representative of who I was. In that way, I became a little bit of a caricature, like this, like, what did they used to call me? Cool Carole. And yes, I guess it's cool, but I'm not, I'm not really that way. In my real friend group, I have a lot of opinions, and I'm unafraid to articulate those opinions. And I'm not so quiet, and I do tend to let things roll, but not as much as I used to. So I don't know. I'm not. Listen, it's probably the audience, I think, thought very highly of me for the whole, I think for pretty much the most of the time I was on. I don't think that I had a tremendous amount of haters. Do you? I mean, you would know.
No, I really don't. I mean, there's a lot of people that are hated for a lot of, like, really hated. I don't put you in that category. I think you had it pretty decent.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I don't think there were many misconceptions, but there's a toxicity to it that, like, there are haters out there, and I still get them. People still say, I don't know, for some reason people are like, because I dated someone who was 20 years younger, I still get like age shame, like, being called grandma and ugly, and you look like Steven Tyler. I don't know how that came about, but do I look like Steven Tyler?
Okay, that has come about. That's another thing. But no, but I think it's more like, you have like leather pants and like, I think it was meant like, listen, now they're trying to be diverse, and let's look at Brooklyn and Leo with her, whatever, and the Pfizer. Like, you were the cool, and listen, I'm like a downtown girl. Like, you were the downtown. I mean, we had Alex McCord in Brooklyn, but you were like that. This girl's not from the Upper East Side, and she wears black leather pants. And
right. I guess, like, my first couple of seasons. Yeah. But then Ramona started wearing black leather pants. I remember the first time she got a pair, she was so excited. She showed them to me. I don't know. I'm probably, we're all a lot of what they portrayed on the show, but there's a caricature that comes out, like, and I think mine was like cool, doesn't care, but voice of reason. I am reasonable, but I think that's why you saw a lot of most of the haters came out in my last season, because I wasn't cool Carole anyway. I was a little tired of just like dumbing down a little bit,
Right.
So that would be a misconception, that I'm so cool